But speaking of another child's toy, a child's franchise blown up into a big budget production, I want to talk about Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. Now, Transformers, we talked about Transformers last Friday for a minute, but it was the animated show. But now we're talking about the actual feature film coming out, taking place in 1994. The Autobots return to a live action along with a new breed of Transformers known as the Maximals, which are, like animals, but Transformers. They've been on Earth for a long time. We haven't seen them. They've been hiding. Well, now they finally announced it. Unicron's ass is flying in to try to destroy the planet Earth and eat it. Unicron.
No, well, he is not.
Speaking of unicorn, that would have been a great transition. Speaking of unicorns.
Sorry.
But no, Anthony Ramos is in this. He looks like he's great in the new trailer. And Stephen Cable Jr., who did Creed 2, is directing this. Comes out June 9th. And the new trailer just came out. And for me, I'm like, shut up, Siri. And for me, I really think, technology, she's going to hate me someday. For me, I think that the trailer looked good. It was a good step up. It showed more of the plot. I love Unicron. They were not showing Unicron for a long time. And Unicron goes back to the animated movie. Exactly. And he was the big bad in that, which is, of course, an eater of worlds. A Transformer that's bigger than a world that eats people or eats planets. Feeds off planets. He's a planet. And they kind of touched upon it before in the old ones, but this is a reboot now. It's kind of a soft reboot. It takes place in 94, so it doesn't even match the timelines of the other ones. So I don't know if they'll ever tie it together. They probably won't at this point. But
Jazz is alive.
Alive.
Or someone is alive because there's a Porsche, so I'm guessing that's Jazz. It's not a Pontiac Solstice with a spoiler. This thing's
that's floating in space.
It's a Porsche.
It's not a Toyota Tercel.
It's not a Toyota Tercel. It's not a GM, envisioned, engulfed, money-stuffed car. No, this is a serious Porsche. I'm like, yes, 90s. Give me that. Thank you.
Bring that in. I think it's cool because
the new 80s.
Exactly. 80s carried into the 90s.
80s would have been great, but I think because Bumblebee did so well, and that was set in the 90s too, I think that's also why they're like, let's keep it in the 90s. And Bumblebee's awesome. The movie was great. I enjoyed it a lot.
Transformers movie I watched.
It was good.
Yeah, well,
it was good.
Well, you got Bumblebee back in this one, but also the one thing I want to talk about too is the fact they're actually going to have humans. That's what the trailer hints at. Using the Transformers on themselves to make suits, which is great, which is in the animated show actually, and the fact that that's a really cool thing. They have never done that in a Transformers movie before. Keoki, you love this lore, you love this franchise. What do you think about this new trailer? And do you think that it's going to be a hit, or do you think that they shouldn't have touched this again?
Well, the fact that they're not showing us everything immediately is good because that's what good trailers do. They show you little tidbits of what you want to see. It goes back to Batman v Superman. If they'd never showed you Wonder Woman the entire time, that movie would have been phenomenal. But because they exposed it, it's boo. But because of, like you said, Anthony Ramos, it shows them get the add-on to the Transformer thing, but you don't see how it goes yet, so that's cool. I like the idea of it. And the fact that the design of it is not all Michael Bay'd out with, flamed up Optimus Prime. You just have them looking standard square like the old TV show or cartoons. You're like, this is what I want to see. And that's like I said, I'll even say back then, watch the Netflix computer-generated show, and it's going to be great. It literally carries off from what it is because the third season of that little CG episodes that come up, they take place, I guess, thousands of years ago, but it shows Optimus Prime meet the Maximals. So it kind of talks about that and about the approach of Unicron.
Maximals.
So it's really cool. And I wasn't a big Beast Wars fan guy. Like when it came on, I was like, oh, that's CG. It's the 90s. I'm too good for that. I want animation. But the new CG show that shows up on Netflix, watch that and then watch this. It'll get you excited for it. It'll get you pumped, which is, I'm sure, one reason why they're pushing it out right now.
Yeah, I think they really are. That makes sense to kind of get people amped up for this. And it's not Michael Bay. And I will say too, you're talking about the Transformers, I feel like it looks good because it's a little bit slowed down too.
Yes.
Because that's the one thing I noticed from this trailer. The Michael Bay ones, they move so fast that you can't even catch. That's the biggest complaint people had. It's you can't even see what the hell's going on. They're really utilizing slow motion and one take. In that trailer, they show them fighting. It's all one, sequence going through the whole thing, which I think works really well. And if you have
Exactly.
the IP, then you can bank in the IP and bring people in with that, like you were saying. I think that'd be great. They should be promoting
I think
even
so
more.
too.
They really should.
They should. Hopefully, they just have a really good storyline and just work everybody in. You don't have Shia
Hopefully.
LaBeouf yelling every 15 seconds, so you're gonna have to
I
do
wish
some
we had
acting
Shia
in here.
LaBeouf.
I wish we had Shia LaBeouf. I don't hate him.
You're
I
looking
like
for
him.
Shia LaBeouf?
I saw Peanut
I'd
Butter
be
Falcon.
down
I thought it was a great movie, so he did great. So I thought it was
I
good.
for that fool to come back. I'm just saying.
I want him to come back. I think he should. He is not a bad actor. I just need someone just needs to watch out and make sure he's not doing crazy stuff like Ezra Miller.
Like punching walls. Yeah, like Ezra
Yeah,
Miller.
punching walls. Yeah, punching walls. Not something you want to do.
Part of the best.
No, punch a wall as long as it's not a production worker's face.
Right. How are you gonna do that?
Rachel, what do you think about this trailer, though? You hear about this, you watch the trailer. I mean, I think you said before you've only seen the Bumblebee one, but what do you think about this? Will this make you go see another Transformers movie? Or are you like, all right, guys, not for me?
I might watch it in streaming if Lexi wants to watch it.
There you go. There you go.
I didn't grow up caring about Transformers. So it doesn't hit that nostalgia tickle for me.
Yeah.
The same way it does for other people. I didn't see any of the Shia LaBeouf, Michael Bay ones. It is what it is. I'm excited for people who are excited for it. I hope it's really good for people who care about it. But it's not on my list of to watch.
An honest take.
Yeah. I'm looking through the
well
comments.
done.
It looks really well done. And like I said before, the fact that they're actually slowing it down and giving it some more time to breathe, I think goes a long way. And Unicron is such a villain. The fact that like it's this huge like destroyer and swallower of worlds, like it's one of the best villains they have in the Transformers universe, hence why it was the animated film villain, And the fact they're bringing him in this way, I think it could be a great thing. And the fact they actually showed, because they weren't showing shit about the villain. They were just like, they're like, oh, well, we have the Beast Wars. We have the,
villain, though, it feels like the stakes are just a little bit too high. Like,
That's
at
true.
the end of the day, the heroes are going to win.
They're going to
I
destroy
like
him.
there to be more of a back and forth, like...
They
I
could,
like there
they
to
could set it
sometimes
up.
be a Thanos. I like for Thanos to sometimes win, and then the heroes have adversity to
absolutely.
overcome. I don't like a clear-cut winner.
Exactly.
That's what was great about Endgame, or actually I should say Infinity Wars, was the fact that he won. Yeah, the fact that he won. That was big.
It was great. Because you don't see that often.
I remember like Sabrina and I saw it. We came out of the theater. She was like crying. She's like, "Why did you bring me to this movie?"
I know, it's like,
I'm like, I'm
they
like, it's really good. She's like, no,
Spider-Man.
It's not really good. It's not really good. I'm like, yeah, it is. She's like, no, never again. I'm not trusting you again.
And you tell her you have 1 year to deal with your pain, and then after that,
put it, and we'll come back.
We'll come back.
Because you didn't know in Endgame if
Exactly.
what was going to happen, like who was going to
Right.
come back.
Unless you were a comic book reader, you wouldn't have known what was going to happen. You're like, oh God, no. And you're like,
right. And
I was watching
they
other
still kind of twist things from the comics just a little bit.
Exactly enough for you to not know exactly what was going to happen. So you're like, oh
yeah.
And then they throw in, Super Cap or Captain Thunder in there, and you're like, oh my God, this is glorious! And you're like,
it was so cool.
It was. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, why am I screaming in this theater? Oh, everybody else is, yes.
Can they recreate that? That's the whole thing too. It's like, can they recreate that? I don't even know if they can.
I don't
think they can. Oh,
that was a 10-year buildup. You had 10 years of film leading up to that point.
But that's the great thing about it is they haven't even touched X-Men yet with Marvel actually attached to it. That's the whole thing. Like Avengers is like dinner theater compared to what the X-Men dramedy that we watch. So just if you're willing to wait, like, and that's what it is, X-Men's going to be like 5 times greater, and you're like,
to
what?
Announce season 2 of She-Hulk. If they don't give me a season 2 of She-Hulk, I will riot.
It's gonna come.